Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. What a great video. Be the light. That's what we're here to share and give you an opportunity to learn about. So, the question of the night is, have you been patched? We're talking about this wonderful patch right here. I've got it right on my chest today. And if you haven't, please get back with the person that invited you to this Zoom event and get yourself a patch, please. Next slide, please.
Yes, ma'am.
So David Schmidt is the inventor of the X39. He is a brilliant man, and we love him so much. I mean, he comes to all of the conventions, and just his presence is just amazing. He's a man of God, and just he exudes peace and tranquility and such humility, and he is a brilliant man. As you can see, he has over 200 patents. I don't know about you, but I know of one person that had one patent and says that it was tumultuous to get a patent. So imagine 200 patents and maybe more, right? Is it over 250, Rochelle? I don't even know by the end of the year, but they just keep coming. He's a scientist and inventor and CEO of our company, and he specializes in age reversing. And who doesn't want age reversing? We're not talking anti-aging, we're talking age reversing. So in 2008, David focused his attention on stem cell research, and we'll talk more about that in a few minutes. And his recent patent for the X39 took 10 years and $4.5 million to bring to market. That's pretty remarkable. It's amazing. So here's our patent, and you can find it on Google or wherever you choose to look for it. The number's right there. To get a patent is very hard, but also in addition to that, what it does is it helps with exclusivity and protects what we have. And as we like to say, our patented technology in this little patch is not a Me Too product. You can't find it anywhere else. So I'll just read a little bit about in the excerpt that we've pulled from the patent. It is the beneficial effect, at least, it provides phototherapy to a human body. And for example, in some embodiments, as a result of elevating copper peptides, we have copper peptides in our bodies that decline with age. And what this does is it elevates our copper peptide to work in a manner that will eventually, with time, start the age reversing process. The elevation of antioxidants is also a benefit, reduction in inflammation. And do you know anybody that does not have inflammation on this planet Earth? I mean, I don't. It's management of pain and improvement in stamina, elevation of collagen production, and improved wound healing. And in order to have a patent, another thing is you have to prove that whatever you're trying to patent works. There's got to be clinical trials, there's got to be evidence. So I'm so thankful that we have this patent. And again, you can look it up online. Why the X39 stem cell activation patch, you may ask. So when I was introduced to this little tiny patch, my friend gave me 5. And I heard stem cell, blah, blah, blah. And I didn't understand. I didn't know why stem cell health was important. I didn't know that when we were conceived, we began as stem cells. And stem cells are what repair, rejuvenate, so many things that it does in our bodies. And as we age, things settle down and go dormant. So the fewer stem cells you have in your body, the faster you age and the slower you heal. As we can tell, the older we get, we're not like the little kids anymore that fall, they get up, they dust it off, and they keep running. It hurts and it lasts a long time usually, and it takes time to heal. But guess what? With the X39, things are changing. So hundreds of millions of people are experiencing symptoms of aging, and we know those people. We are those people. And I'm sure that, well, I don't know. on this call if anybody's 30, but as you approach age 30, only half of your stem cells are active. I did not know this. So when I was handed this patch, I had no idea what I had in my hands. I actually left them in the little envelope that they came in, and they sat there for quite a while until I started realizing what I had my hands on. At age 60, which is yours truly, I'm getting closer and closer, you lose almost all your stem cell activity. I did not know that either 2.5 years ago. I had no idea. And I'm so grateful to know now that we have something so remarkable in our hands that can change our lives and those that we love as well. Next slide, please. So how does the X39 work? Wow, it is so simple. I mean, as you can tell, I have it right here. So it's a proprietary form of phototherapy. It's patented. Nanotechnology is encapsulated in this little tiny circle right here. I don't know if you can see it, but it's right there. Nothing leaches out. It remains in that little circle. And what happens is when you wear it, it activates because your body heat is reflecting off of that patch. And what it does is it sends a signal right back into your body, a light wave of signal that will activate your copper peptides in your body. So it's using your internal light and heat. It's non-transdermal. There's nothing leaching into your body, no drugs, no chemicals, and it's non-invasive and affordable. And I'll read our disclaimer at this moment, just so you know. LifeWave products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical conditions. Next slide, please. So what are the benefits of X39? This is a short list of what I personally have experienced and my family as well. Increased strength. My husband's back at the gym. He used to be a bodybuilder years and years ago, and then he had major back issues for 20 plus years. Every time he went back to the gym, he would throw his back out and could not do what he used to do back in his 20s. Now he's back at the gym because he's been patching for 2.5 years, and he has increased his strength, and he has not thrown his back out the way he used to for 20 plus years. I mean, this is phenomenal. His quality of life has completely changed. Reduction in inflammation. Again, if you talk to any doctor, you'll know quickly that inflammation is such a key factor in so many issues with our health. Increased stamina. Who doesn't need that these days? Energy and vitality, mental clarity. This for sure was something that I noticed as I'm approaching 60. In the past few years, let's say since my mid 40s, I noticed a decline in mental clarity and also an increased brain fog issue. And since then, since I've been on this patch, not because of the patch, but because of how my body is reacting to it and the things that are happening internally, I have felt my brain fog lift in an incredible way. Restored muscular and skeletal conditions, improvement in sleep. I can attest to that. I had 9 years of difficulty with sleeping. I could not sleep deeply. For the life of me, I tried every product out there, and nothing worked the way that this has worked. It has changed my life. And improved skin appearance. Who doesn't want that? I mean, really. Yeah, it's amazing. And this is just, again, a short list of what the X39 can do for you. Okay, so this is one of our favorite slides here because it shows a study of a woman that a 77-year-old woman, and she was a Pilates or a yoga instructor, I'm not exactly sure, but on this topography map, it shows how different her mapping became from session 1 to session 3. So if you notice the difference in all the colors, in the first one, this is session 1, she had not patched yet. So no X39, and what it's showing by the colors, by the red, is that there's inflammation in the brain and lack of brain coherence. And it can be noted that when she came in, her brain was hyperactive. Her brain calmed down dramatically at the second visit in session 2. As you can see, the colors have changed. There are cool blues and cool yellows. And so that's evidence that things are changing. And in session 2, she was on the X39 for only 3 weeks, no more inflammation and improved brain coherence. In session 3, 6 weeks on the X39, look at those beautiful colors. And it's amazing what could happen in 6 short weeks. Her brain remained calm after wearing the patch for 6 weeks in session 3. Next slide, please. Okay, so X39 long-term results, and I'm so glad that it's labeled that way because really this is, in my opinion, and what we have found is the long-term effects are really where it's at. Per case studies on thisisit.info.com, we have found that in the first few days, 4,000 of your genes begin to reset. And you probably know about resveratrol, which is in the red pigmented part of the grape, which is in wine. They have found that only 2 genes begin to reset with drinking that substance. But with the X39, in the first few days, 4,000 genes begin to reset. And that is a third of your genome. Pretty crazy. Within 6 weeks, your brain becomes balanced. This to me sounded so far out there. I mean, really, when you think about a sticker, a little sticker, right, that has this technology inside, that this could really balance your brain. I mean, I know of so many stories of children that have suffered with concentration and focus and years of researching and looking for ways to help them. Had I known about this years ago, my goodness, life could have been so different for my children and for me too, because I have felt very scattered in my lifetime. Within 3 months, your collagen is increased. And I don't know about you, but when I used to think of collagen, I used to think of skin. And I know that people consume collagen. And I know also that when we consume things internally, there are a lot of times that things do not get distributed correctly because of our system, our gut system. But I also realized recently that collagen is what holds our organs together. So it keeps things in place. I didn't realize how important collagen was until recently. And what a beautiful thing that with a patch, and within 3 months, your collagen can increase. You're not ingesting anything, you're just putting a patch on. Within 6 months, heart reverses in age, and this is pretty phenomenal. A friend of ours had covered, his feet were covered in spider veins, and that obviously has to do with the heart and the cardiovascular system. And he didn't feel what was happening internally, but his wife one day noticed months in after wearing the patch consistently, and she's like, "Hey, babe, you're look at your feet. Your veins are gone." He's like, "What?" He didn't even notice. And so it's pretty remarkable that there are things that are happening inside that we're not even aware of. But in his case, externally, he was able to see what was happening on the inside. So again, this is not anti-aging. There's tons of anti-aging things out there, but this is not one of them. This is age reversing per David Schmidt, CEO, inventor of the X39. So how to wear it. Okay, so simple. You know those little Band-Aids, little circular Band-Aids? That's exactly what this is like. I'm going to do this, even though I have one on and it's late at night. But this is how easy it is. You just remove the backing and you stick a patch right on your body. Once you do that, immediately it starts working. You wear your patch for 12 hours only. You remove it and you let your body repair and rejuvenate. You throw your patch away, and then in the morning, rinse and repeat. You put your patch on, you keep it on for 12 hours, you throw it away at the end of the day. Some people like to leave it right by their toothbrush so they remember when they brush their teeth in the morning, put the patch on, brush your teeth at night, remove it. You can wear more than one at a time. If you do, you'll probably get approximately a 20% increase in effectivity, but it's really not necessary. And drink plenty, plenty of water. Our society is so dehydrated, it's not even funny. And if you can get your hands on a good quality electrolyte, that will allow your body to absorb the water and minerals to be able to be very well hydrated so that this patch will work so much better. Your stem cells will love you for it. So the X39, as you can see, it's a sophisticated technology. It's remarkable that there's something so small that could do so much, yet it's very simple to explain. And what we love to do, because this is my favorite part, is share testimonials. There's nothing like hearing how this technology has changed a person's life. And so we would love to introduce Darren at this time. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for being willing to share your story. I see that you've unmuted and you're there. So thank you so much. Please share.
Thank you. Thank you. Um, so I had to be honest, I was only given 3 minutes and there's so much to share. So I'm going to try to be brief, but so here it goes.
Do your best,
Uh,
Darren. We're listening.
um, back in, it's a January, Rochelle had reached out to me because I was getting ready to have surgery on my back to have a laminectomy. And I've been having pain for multiple years. And it's not just my back, but also my knee because I need knee replacement. But anyway, I kind of ignored Rochelle and just her testimony of the problem that she was having with her shoulder. I was actually there actually when she was injured. And so I kind of brushed it aside thinking, I've been to all these doctors and, they're all saying the same thing. There's nothing else we can do, but you need to have this surgery. I had the surgery and within a month, um, the wound opened and I ended up having to go back into the hospital. They cut open the wound, and this time they left it open and put what's called a wound vac on my back. And so, more or less, was wearing this man purse with this long tube that attaches to my back to remove, the fluids and to allow my body to naturally heal from the inside out. And was wearing this for about 2 months. So we're talking around March now. And Rochelle had been, saying, Darren, you should really, try this patch. It's amazing. And I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I was very skeptical. Um, and so uh, there's so many things that actually happened the moment I did put this patch on. Um, but I'm just going to go into the whole thing with my back because there was other things that actually started to heal instantly. Um, Eventually, they removed the wound vac because it wasn't working. And so every or twice a week, I had a nurse come to the house and put collagen in the wound and then cover it up. And I did that maybe for a month, about a month, I guess. It might have been a little bit less than a month. And wasn't getting any kind of results. I started going to a wound specialist, and they tried to do the same thing. And then eventually, I'm like, man, nothing's working. It's getting really frustrating. I'm 4 months into this whole thing with my surgery. It started in January. Here it's like towards the end of March or April. And so um, they put in a graft, or like a skin graft with collagen in it. Um, and it just so happened that's the week that I also started the X39. Um, and so maybe I guess a week, probably I guess a week. They measure the depth of the wound every time I visit, and we started seeing improvements. And so I start questioning, well, is it the patch or is it the this graft that they inserted in the wound? And so I'm like, well, I'll just let it do whatever it's doing. And it started closing some more. So I'm like, well, I can't say that it's X39 if I'm had this other new thing in there. So I moved the X39 to my knee. And because this is where I need a knee replacement, it's bone on bone. And uh, just
Yeah.
a little history. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
awesome. Yeah. I just put that in there.
Oh, okay. Um, so just so you know, I'm a Disney Vacation Club member. We go to Disney all the time, and this is just how bad my knee is. I had to rent one of those scooters to ride around in the park because of the pain that I have in my knee. Um, and if I'm, if I'm at home, then I wear the knee brace. Well, when I moved that patch to my knee, um, I decided, I need to lose weight. And I knew I couldn't walk that far, and my goal was to just walk up one house and then walk back because I figured that's all I can do before it would just be too painful. Well, I walked the entire community and with no pain, no knee brace. It made no sense at all. And so I did it again in the evening, and so then I've just been walking since, and never had to put on a knee brace from that point forward. And it's been 3 months now, where I don't feel the pain anymore, and so that's just kind of weird. So anyway, I noticed that. Um, when I went to the wound doctor, I moved the patch, well, the it stopped closing up. The wound stopped closing up. So then I realized, well, then it must be the patch because I moved it because I had the patch actually near my wound. Um, so I, so now I waited another week. I'm like, well, maybe it's just a fluke because I'm still doubting things, even though the whole thing was a miracle with my knee. So I waited another week or so, and there was no movement or no healing with my wound. And so I'm like, all right, then it must be the X39 that was doing this. And so now I've moved the patch back to my wound, and it's almost closed now at this point.
Oh,
So it's just been amazing. There's another thing that happened too that I didn't even realize because I've just been so skeptical about it. But I've been pain free between my back and my knee, and it's been a blessing. I know I went over 3 minutes, but it's just kind of hard to do that, just to not share what it's done for me since April. And so I'm just super grateful. That's
Wow,
it.
Dan. That's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. And
Yeah.
it really is. Welcome to the Skeptics Club, right?
Yeah.
When I had mine and I gave some to my mom looked at me like I was like I grew some extra heads on my shoulder, and she's like, "What is this sticker gonna do for me? I'm not paying for this, you know." And
Mhm.
now she's one of my managers. Like
Oh,
she's
wow.
busy sharing this with people because she has seen remarkable things happen with her, and her energy is elevated, her brain fog. She's 86. and she just can't stop talking about it. But the beautiful thing about one of the things that you shared was the location. And the wonderful thing about X39 is that it's systemic. So no matter where you put it, it's going to work. And I guess for you, putting it closer to those areas really made such a big difference. So
It
thank you
did.
again. Thank you for sharing. And remember, this does not heal, treat, cure. It's your body going into a reboot mode because of this light therapy, which we love to say photobiomodulation. Try to say that 15 times. Anyway, so our next guest to share, if I'm not mistaken, is Dora. And if you are available, please unmute. And if you can get your camera on, please do that as well.
I don't see Dora on, Marty, which is
Okay.
good because I think Darren took up her time. No.
Okay.
I can share if you guys want me
That's
to.
fine.
So if you want, well, whatever you want,
Tammy just
Rochelle.
offered. Well, I know we're a little bit over time, but
Okay.
I mean, Darren, I think your story, what you shared was so important to hear. Tammy, if you can share briefly, that would be great. And then I'll just run through the last slides really, really quickly. But I understand if people need to leave, but I do want to encourage you to hang on to the end if you can.
Okay, so I'll make this brief.
Okay.
So Rochelle is a good friend of mine, and I saw her in some videos talking about this patch. And then she told me the story of what happened, how she fractured her shoulder in three places when she had a seizure on stage. So she immediately thought about my husband because he suffers from migraines. And he suffered from his whole childhood and adult life. And he's had a whole lot of things go on since COVID. He hasn't driven since 2020. It's been a lot. Well, Rochelle told me about the patches. I told him, and of course, yeah, he's skeptic. I wasn't. I was just like, yeah, let me patch myself. So I patched myself immediately because I have back problems, and and he patched himself the same day. So we both put the patch on, and when we both put the patch on, we looked at each other. And he's like, it can't be working that fast. And I'm thinking the same thing because my back instantly was not hurting anymore. So we laid down, we went to sleep, woke up the next day, and then we patched ourselves again. And he came to me because he was like, honey, I'm getting a migraine. And he said, I have to get this work done. And when he gets a migraine, his migraine puts him out for the entire day. He has to go into the room, turn down the lights, and just go to sleep to just even move past the pain that he's feeling. So he said, I got to shut work down. He said, but you got to pray for me because I got to get back up. I have to get this stuff done. So I prayed and I patched. I put, he had the X39 on, and then I put an E on his right temple. So he laid down. 45 minutes later, he gets out of bed. I'm like, are you okay? He said, feeling a little bit better, so I'm gonna go ahead. I'm like, okay. I said, I'm still praying for you. I go in 2 hours later. I said, honey, how you doing? He said, honey, I am feeling great. And for my friends and family who know us, that is huge. That is huge because our life has been a lot different now that we have the patches. I have menopause headaches and I get migraines when I have menopause, when my menopause is going crazy. But what I recently figured out is if I start to feel the hot flashes, if I put the Eon patch on, I don't get the headache.
Pretty
That's it.
remarkable.
Short, simple, sweet.
Amazing.
It's
Tammy,
amazing.
thank you for sharing. Thank you so much. That's
Yeah.
incredible.
Thank you, Tammy. All right.
Absolutely.
All right. So I think we can move into the next portion of the presentation, and I'll go run through these really, really quickly. I'm going to share my screen again.
Thank you, Rochelle.
Absolutely. So if you want to know more about how the patch works, look at the patent, listen to, oh gosh, there are a ton of testimonials that you can find at our website, the thisisitinfo.com. You can take a screenshot of that. Probably most of you have already received this from the person that actually invited you to the Zoom, but please, please check it out. So we're going to talk really quickly about the business opportunity that's attached to the patch. I like this portion. I had to, what can I say, grow to like this portion. Because when I initially started patching, for me, I was desperate and I just wanted some support in healing. And I did not want to take drugs to make that happen because I had an adverse reaction to the medication that they prescribed me for the seizure that I had. And so, like Marty alluded to earlier, I saw some of her posts on her Facebook page, and that started me on my journey with LifeWave and the patches. And so, LifeWave is a 20-year-old company. This is not just something that just popped up overnight. It's open in over 75 countries. I think we're about 82 now. Honestly, probably pushing 100. It's not a Me Too product, okay? Like most companies, there are so many weight loss companies, skincare, supplements, anything you want, name it. It is out there, and they're all competing for the same business. So in 2021, LifeWave was cruising at about $20 million, and then the X39 hit the market during that time, right around 2020. And it just skyrocketed the revenue. And you can see in 2024, revenue was over $600 million. And a big part of that too is because of the This Is It team, which is a team that we're on, network marketing team. We have incredible leaders, and they're the number one team in the company, and they are really, really pushing the X39. And I believe the X39 patch alone contributes to over 90% of the revenue for LifeWave. So that is our signature patch, our foundational patch, and really the patch that we really build our business on. LifeWave is ranked number one in momentum by the businessforhome.org. You can read about this at that website if you'd like. Also, for the past 2 years, the slide says 2024, but also in 2025, we were awarded the number one growth company in direct sales. So LifeWave is moving and the industry is talking about it, and the word is getting out, even though it's a 20-year-old company and a lot of people still have not heard about it. So, my question tonight for you to really think about is what is important in your life? Is it more time with your family? Is it time freedom? Being able to do what you want when you want to do. You don't need anybody's permission or to fill out a slip for time off. Is it security? Is it to build a legacy? Are you thinking about your children and down the road? I know for me, I have a son that just started college. So that's important to me to be able to, support him in the way that he needs. Is it travel? Who doesn't love to travel? Is it better health? Is it to pay off your debt and to be debt free? These things can actually happen with a business with LifeWave. The compensation plan is very, very simple. It's a binary. If you don't know what a binary is, it's two legs, one leg on the left, one leg on the right. And getting started is really easy. If you know four people that you can enroll that like, know, trust you, you're off and you're on your way. The team commission, it's a team commission. You build as a team, which I think is great. It's not like one person sitting at the top getting all the success and earning commission. You help to build a team. You pour into your people and you help them to be successful. And the earning potential, guys, is up to $25,000 a week from the binary, not a month, a week. And I've actually seen in my own upline, the back office of someone who is actually making $25,000 a week. In fact, there's a couple, the husband used to pick up trash off of the street and sell it, and now they're making over $6 million in this industry, and this actually with LifeWave. So the potential is great. Now, I should say that LifeWave doesn't make any promises or guarantees. We know that what we put in is what we get out. So it's not going to happen if you don't put in the work, right? But the beautiful thing is that you have an incredible team behind you. I call it a mighty army because that's what I feel like we are, and just an incredible community. So another way we get earn income is by the matching bonus, and this is where income is unlimited. And so down into your binary, 3 levels down, you can earn a percentage of what your brand partners are bringing in, which is so cool because you're managing, you're pouring, you're mentoring, you're taking care of them. And so it's like, getting a bonus for helping your team to be successful. This is just a quick look at the enrollment form. You can fill out a form if you're interested. Your brand partner can send this to you, or they can get online with you or on the phone and get you enrolled um, for these specific packs or whatever you decide you would like to do. So here we have, you can see the core, advanced, and the premium. The core, I will say, is where I started because I was not interested in the business until I put the patch on. And I called Marty back and I was like, wait a minute. Let's go ahead and upgrade here because I definitely see the potential and I know that this patch works and it just would not be smart for me not to do this as a business and to earn something for sharing about it. And I love it. And I haven't been able to stop talking about it since I actually started wearing the patch. So core, as you can see, you get 3 sleeves of the X39. Advanced, you're getting 6 sleeves of the X39. And then the premium, which is our most popular kit, and really for the serious entrepreneur, you are getting 20 sleeves of the X39 patch. And the reason this is the most popular kit is because this really accelerates you and helps build your volume right off from the front. And it gives you an opportunity to really build that business, to build your business a lot faster and get to your goals. And also, there's a reduction in the cost per sleeve. So instead of 99.95 per sleeve, you're looking at more $87.50 per sleeve. I will also mention here the importance of monthly X39 of the subscription is really important. If you do a 1 sleeve, you can see here you get to keep your points and you only earn up to $100 per week. And if you're okay with $400 a week with the work that you put in, that's great, but you can maximize the comp plan by purchasing 2 sleeves a month and be able to share that sleeve with somebody else or share samples from the extra sleeve. So a lot to do there, a lot of flexibility. Even with the premium pack, you can sell those sleeves. You don't have to just sit on them and wait to use them um, as well. So with this, let me tell you, this is it, team. I'm getting ahead of myself. We just came off an incredible convention a few weeks ago, but this team is led by Gina and Steve Merritt, and they are incredible leaders in this industry. And they have put together a training platform, so you're not by yourself. Like all the tools and all the resources are there. You do not have to build from scratch. You just get used to pointing people to the right place. And once you figure out where things are, you just point people, and invite people. And it's just an incredible thing. And there's no additional charge for this platform, the website, the training, the whole nine. So this is a little bit of what you will see on the school platform. We have a calendar there. The training modules are there. Just a lot for you to take advantage of. And you can do it, at your leisure. You can be quick about it or listen while you're in the car. But the tools are there for you to use. Also, we have a Facebook team. You can take a quick screenshot of that if you would like to join the group. We get a lot of encouragement here. It's so inspiring when people are succeeding and sharing what they're doing. I love our Facebook group. Also, we have a YouTube channel with some, the trainings are actually on there as well. You'll find a lot of videos there that will be helpful in building the business. We have podcasts there if you want to take a scan the code there for the podcast. And then we also have a convention. We do virtual and in-person events. Our last event was in early August, and it was incredible. I personally took so much away from it. Just helped me to see, wow, this really is something incredible. It's the people, the purpose, the passion, and just the love in the community, I think, just really made me feel even better about, this organization, this team, this business, and now. I was going to play this video, but because it is so late, you guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, because I was thinking, I didn't turn my camera on. I'm sorry about that. But anyway, so that is the end of the presentation. And what we could do is send out the video because it really is an amazing video, but I know it's getting late. What we want to encourage you to do is go back to or reach back to the person who actually invited you. If you have questions, Marty, you think we could take a few questions? I know it's late. And we have everybody still on. If you guys have questions related to what we've shared tonight, we would be happy to answer those questions or point you to where you can find the answers to those questions. So